Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our podcast.
Today we're covering another anime, Clannad.
David Chunga! I'm sorry. A high school student, Tomoya Okazaki, David Machanga, who cares little about school or others until he meets a lonely girl who has to repeat a year while all her friends finished high school. He's known as the delinquent in here, which is really hilarious because when you see there are no delinquent behaviors, they're left to the imagination. So Tomoya decides to hang out with her and soon meets more friendly students and the love of his life.
And before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get updates on future podcasts and World of Paws videos.
So, as you know now, David Matranga is in here, and he's Tomoya Okazaki, and Lucy Christian voices Nagisa Furukawa.
Right. So if you ship Uraraka and Todoroki for some reason or another, well, they're canon in this show. Congratulations! If you want to see that, watch this show.
Now, there's some other wonderful voice acting favorites that we know. There's Greg Ayers, Kara Greenberg. Of course, we mentioned Blake Shepard.
Right, Melissa Davis. And was Todd Havercorn in here, I think? I think he
Josh
was.
Grell.
Josh Grell, okay. I think Todd Havercorn did a voice in here, too. He was
Yes,
one
he
of the
did,
audience
very
students.
quickly.
Okay.
So, it's a pretty popular anime, and we've gotten a lot of recommendations for watching it, told we should really take a look at it, and we really want to see the movie that we know takes place after the end of the series.
Yeah.
If you guys know where we can find the movie or watch the movie or buy the movie, please let us know in the comments below, because we haven't been able to locate the Clannad movie.
Yeah, and it's not on Netflix.
Right. So, we were really happy to watch this, of course, because David Matranga is in it, voicing the main character, but also because, again, we heard that it was a really nice anime. It was nothing like we expected. It's a very calm slice of life anime mixed in with a little, I don't want to say supernatural, but I guess you could say a little supernatural.
Slightly, yes,
based on one of the arcs that takes place within the anime.
Right. And it kind of starts off as sort of like a little bit of a drama, and then it kind of delves into comedy when it gets halfway through or to the next season. It really goes full-blown comedy towards the end, because it really starts being really more uplifting and funny and goofy, especially when you're dealing with Negas's parents.
Yes. Oh, we forgot Emily Nevis.
She did another voice.
To mention her. Yes. Yes, her parents look like eternal high schoolers. Her dad and mom look like they graduated from high school yesterday, or they're still in high school. They look as young as she does. Her dad is Cuckoo. He's a lovable Cuckoo character who, if you're on Twitter or read online, he's extremely popular.
Right.
With the ladies.
That is actually hilarious, because they're here to make it sound like he couldn't get anybody but this one woman. That was hilarious. And every time he actually makes her sad because her cooking is terrible, he's got right after saying he loves her cooking.
And he's like this hot, cold personality. One minute he's laughing and grinning, the next minute he's yelling at you and telling you to go away. And he treats Tomoya really crazy. He doesn't know if he likes him or not. He's not even sure.
Yeah, he's like, are you saying you care about me or what? And he's not ready to tell him, what he says about him, or he thinks you're kind of crazy, aren't you? Or why don't you just do this? He's pretty blunt with everybody.
And in the series, they refer to him more by Furukawa. So when you hear that, we are talking about David Matranga's character, Tomoya.
Yes.
We also forgot to mention Brittany Karabaski.
Wow, not going to be skipped.
Yes.
I guess because there's so many people in here.
Right. So, as we mentioned, it's really mild. And what I do like about the beginning of this series is you're kind of left in the dark about the characters. You don't know who's real, whom isn't. in the beginning, you're told this story about how ghosts can appear, and then you start seeing characters, and you're not sure if they're real or not. You think they're ghosts, and they're not. You think they're real, and they end up being ghosts or the astral projection or spirit of someone else. And I do like that about this series, that it wasn't clear, and you had to really watch and listen and pay attention and figure out what was going on. So that was a nice change for us in an anime. And there's not action in here at all. There's no action unless you count Tomoya and
being a delinquent for no reason.
Sunohara, voiced by Greg Ayres, getting their butts kicked by the girls that attend the school in this anime.
Yeah, just one kick and they're flying across the screen. So
and all of these girls, every single one except for Nagisa, is hard hitting, badass, martial arts experts, don't shy away,
just off the wall.
Speaking off the wall, and they're all gorgeous. So it was really hilarious watching this, because you see all these other characters that are like this, and then Nagisa is totally the opposite of all of them.
Right.
And
she's like the sore thumb. Yeah.
Right. And then the show, Tomoya is the Kurito of this show.
Yes, the inevitable
all
happens.
The girls want him.
No!
Not a spoiler, because in the beginning, you already know that he and Nagisa are going to end up being shipped. You know from the first few episodes,
right.
So this isn't a spoiler. But he's like Kurito in here. All the girls want him. And then she's the most unlikely character he would choose. So there's a part toward the end where all of them realized he's with Nagisa, and they said, well, you knew this was happening. We just didn't want to admit it. And all the girls started crying and
it's like,
boo-hooing.
what the heck?
Yeah, it's like,
what's going on? What's wrong with you people? And they get like really aggressive and towards like him, like, yeah, you better pick me. It's like, okay, you need to run, man, get out of the school. And okay, what else?
And then there's one of those girls is a girl who's named Tomoyo.
Yes.
And he's named Tomoya. So you really have to listen, because sometimes you think they're talking about one character, but they're talking about the other character.
That's the one that kicks people.
Yes.
And definitely want to bring up something about that character once you get to the next part.
And then there's a character named Fuko Ubuki. And you find out that her sister's getting married, and they're trying to find a place to have the wedding, and they volunteered to have it at the school. But as you watch, you learn that Fuko is actually in the hospital in a coma. Mm-hmm. And you see her appear, so again, you're not sure if she's an actual projection or if she's like the spirit of the person who's making appearances. And their main concern is that people don't forget about her.
Right, because it constantly like happens to all her appearances. Like, she knows a group of people, the next day they don't remember who she is, don't even remember she existed, and they're wondering why they have something that she gave and they don't remember who did it.
And she's this really sweet, adorable character, and she loves starfish, and she wants her sister to be happy, and her main reason for appearing again is to make sure her sister's wedding follows through, and she wants to be there, but physically she can't, and so she enlists the help of Tomoya and Nagisa to help her. So It's really actually a very sweet part of this show. Mm-hmm. Nagisa tends to have episodes of sickness and fainting and passing out.
Yeah.
And Tomoya seems to love the idea of that he gets to help her and be there to rescue her. Basically, that's what he does. Mm-hmm. There's a couple times she does it around him. The first time it catches him really off guard. The second time he's shocked, but he's seen it happen before. And then the next time he's not able to go visit her in the hospital, and it really is just driving him batty because he wants to be able to go see her. And this is the one time when all the girls descend upon him,
like a feather prey,
because Nagisa's not around. It's like, oh, you're so helpless. Tomoya.
Yeah,
We need
they all
to cook
attack.
for you. And then they put him in this position of all of them wanting him to say that their food is the best. And this fool sits and eats all this freaking food all these girls have brought to him, and he's sick for days and doesn't eat for days.
Right. Oh gosh, yeah. And they even have, you know, I you know there's gonna be different people that should be different. One of the girls on here, he's got too many suitors in here for a character. But like you said, like Kirito. So even though he ends up with Nagisa, that's her name, right? Nagisa. There are going to be people that ship him with other girls. So actually, Tomoya, yeah. So interesting enough, at the end of the series, they feature a bonus episode or an OVA in which it shows an alternate reality.
Where
and in
Tomoya and Tomoyo end up together.
Right. And Nagisa doesn't exist whatsoever.
Right.
So in that universe she doesn't exist, period. So that way he does end up with this girl. And in this universe it's less of a comedy and more of like a tragedy in terms of, because he's a delinquent and you never know why, and she's like head of the class, like school president and everything, and her duties come first, that he's gonna destroy her image and they should
chance of having
a career,
successful future, blah blah
it's
blah.
like, you know, she's not the president of the United States, right? Like, why do you act like she's the president of that? That's how like extreme it gets. And then it turns into this thing where they can't be together, so they break it off even though they want to be together. And then there's this old drama about him having a normal job, and she goes to something else, and then they decide they're gonna make it work. It's like a whole nother show, and it, unfortunately for us, it wasn't enjoyable. I'm sure it was enjoyable for the ones that shipped both of them and they got their little what if episode, but for us it seemed like just such a downer because no one was happy. It was constantly being dogged for being together, whether you shipped them or not, and then they had to come to realize they should be together. It was just so weird.
And the lightheartedness and the joy that is part of this series was nowhere in that OVA. So yeah. So I also want to mention Greg Ayres' character again, Sunohara. He's absolutely crazy and fun, and he's Tomoya's best friend, and he always visits him in his dorm room. And then Sunohara's sister comes to visit, and that brings some more fun and craziness and excitement. I think she knows that he doesn't get along well with other students, just Tomoya.
Right.
And most of the girls don't like him. And so his sister wants him to come out of his shell, and then immediately the sister picks up on the attraction between Tomoya and Nagisa, and she tries to set up for them to actually break through the barrier of them calling each other by their last names and being really formal, and they haven't held hands or kissed or told each other they like each other or anything. She's like, are you kidding me? What are you waiting for? And she's younger than they are.
Right. It's like, oh my gosh. And then how it comes about is like a bunch of misunderstandings about her brother and him and stuff. And Tomoya's thinking all sorts of things. Like, nobody said this. And there's even...
So she actually sets up their first official date, which is really sweet and really cute. And they still are awkward with each other. But finally, by the end of that date, they break that little barrier that's keeping them from admitting that they like each other. So it's just really sweet.
Right. And there is one episode I gotta mention. Without the drama episodes, there is one episode that actually ends up being funny. One of the girls that's in the library all the time. So she they said, okay, you need to find some type of talent other than reading the books. So they said, well, I have a violin. Okay, you can learn to play that.
Her name is Katomi Ikanoshe.
Okay, Katomi.
I remember because of Kai Ikanoshe.
Right.
Force the piano. That's why I
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Yeah.
And so they said, hey, you could play this, have an instrument, and work up a talent. It takes some practice. You'll get to it. And she plays it, comes down, and then her playing is so horrible, it breaks reality, the sound barrier, birds are falling out of the sky, everyone goes deaf, and the world just like goes in the apocalypse because she plays so horribly. And no matter what, she doesn't get better. She just keeps playing. Like, oh, this really calms me down. Like, what in what universe? She just plays and then everyone's like on the floor, covering their ears. One woman passed out. We're just reality shattered because of her.
And now that you've mentioned her, she also has a very interesting backstory that comes as a big surprise once you see it. And then you learn why Tomoya is very kind to her. At one point, you actually think maybe I'm getting this wrong. He doesn't like Nagisa. He likes Ikanoshe. But no. He's kind to her, and then you find out why. And they spend about 2 episodes on her backstory.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. We forgot to mention this series is 2 seasons of 13 episodes each, plus the OVA.
And the after story after, yeah.
Now, what we failed to mention is that Tomoya is a new student here who's a delinquent. We never find out why. And he kind of, except for all the girls hitting on him, he's kind of antisocial. And then he meets Nagisa. And again, you're not sure if she's real or not based on a comment that's made at the beginning in the first episode. And because she's the opposite of him and opposites attract, he ends up trying to help her. She wants to recruit people to join the drama club, but she's not sure how to do it, and she's really shy, and she's not outgoing, and so he makes it his mission to help her. And the way they speak to each other is hilarious, because he starts off being sarcastic with her from the beginning. She catches up with him later, but she's not that way in the beginning. Mm-hmm. But in the beginning, he's just himself. He's sarcastic. He's wry. He doesn't, mince his words. He's direct. And somehow she accepts him for whom he is, which other students haven't done. Neither have the teachers, because they keep constantly telling you, he's a delinquent, you're a delinquent, he's a delinquent, you're a delinquent, he's
it's
a
like,
delinquent.
for what?
And she's the only one who treats him like it doesn't matter, and he's just him. She invites him to come home with her. Not come home with her, but yeah, to her house, because their bakery's there. And this little relationship forges because they're opposites, and because actually he likes playing the hero or the knight in her story. And you see the relationship develop, and then by the end you see that she's used to him. She knows that he's this acerbic person, but she doesn't care.
Well,
and
then her dad was one. And
then later on she gets a little feisty in the comments she makes back to him, like, you always do this and blah blah blah, and then he says stuff back to her, and you hear the banter, and okay, this is the relationship, this is how it's going to be. And she accepts him, and he accepts her, and her parents accept him. And you'll find out the ways why when you watch the anime, without us just giving away too much and giving you too many spoilers. But it really is a very unique anime that is calming, slice of life, and odd. And I have to call it odd, and I mean odd in a good way, because there's not, right now for us, there's not another anime out there we've watched like it. There may be others, and you guys are probably far ahead of us in anime watching. But for us right now, this is a unique anime that we really liked, and I'm very happy that we kept getting recommendations to watch it. If you've seen Clannad, either when it originally aired or on Netflix like we watched it, let us know what you think in the comments below. And whom's your favorite character? Mine is Tomoya, of course, it has to be. And have you seen the movie? And does the movie really give it the proper send-off and answer a lot of questions and finish the story that you want to know. Let us know that in the comments as well, including where we can locate that movie.
Right. And be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get updates on future podcasts and World of Paws videos.
Final statement, David Matranga, as usually, knocks it out of the park, voicing a character. Lucy Christian was fantastic, and so were the other voice actors, but they helped to make this for English dub audiences. Mm-hmm. They helped to make this a wonderful and lovable series. So enjoy.
Right. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Rascal Entertainments.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.
And reporters sitting flashing lights. Trying to walk around, man, who the hell are you? What you wanna do? Well, man, it's on you. Man, it's on you. Her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky.